Tim, what is it about militaria, do you think? Why are people so fascinated by militaria?
I think it's because there is more about the person in militaria than many other antiques.
That's a good point.
You've got the conflict, so you've got history. Some of it's quite recent history, some of it goes back hundreds of years. But you've always got the person in militaria, the soldier, and in some cases the nurses and supporting militaria people. So with most of the names, with most of the medals, you've got a name on the medal, so you know you've got something to start with to research, and you can find out about the person. I was in the medical services, so I'm particularly interested in medical corps and nurses.
Ah, right.
Because I was a nurse myself initially.
Right.
And the nurses tell an interesting story. They go back into the Victorian era, where you had nurses out with Egypt, Sudan, Crimea, we go back to Florence Nightingale, but it only really developed from then. And in the First World War, they'd sorted out most of it and they were prepared, but they weren't prepared for the numbers. So there's huge stories of how they coped with the huge numbers of casualties coming back, or in some cases they didn't cope. And so there's always an emotive story there, because you've got the nurses and you've got the patients and how it all worked together. And
was that the draw for you when it comes to military, the real connection to real people, that you could research and find the backstory to?
A lot of people who buy and sell or collect medals spend hours doing the research, and sometimes it's a bit difficult because not all records are there, and you get cases like this lady here, you see. So we've got a photograph of her, we've got some of the medals, but the reality is a lot of these ladies who were nurses in the First World War didn't get married for one reason or another. Either committed to their work, or they lost their partner, or they just never had time. And so they had no immediate family. And when they passed away, the medals were shared amongst the family. So we get a broken set of medals, which is a crime in the medal collecting fraternity, because some relative has been given some medals and some the others. So you end up with a group like this where there's two medals missing, the 14-15 star and the war medal. We've got the victory medal, and we've got a coronation medal, and we've got her nursing fob, which goes on the other side to the medals.
And who is this? Who are we talking about?
We're talking about a lady who has a very common name called Smith. She was a sister in the First World War.
And is that her in the middle?
No, I don't think it is. I think she's one of the ones on the side.
Okay. Do you mind? Would you mind? Let's have a look at those.
That's okay.
Okay. So a nurse in the First World War. I mean, that First World War was a bit of a shocker when it comes to wars.
It was absolutely a shocker. There were horrific things that they had to deal with, overwhelmed with casualties, and they had to make decisions about people who died or lived,
snap decisions.
Treated. They had to offload people off the trains who were too bad to go any further, and there were aid stations. Initially, most of the nurses were in the hospitals. Later on, they moved forward to the casualty clearing stations as well. But there's a story to all of them.
And
their
that's
private
what it
life, their hospital life, and what happened to them afterwards.
And that's the thing that really gets you. It's the story to real people. And you've got a very good point, because you can get a feel for the past and people by handling a Georgian mahogany chest of drawers that's 220 years old. You get a feel for it. You're handling the same material that someone else handled. But when we look at objects like this, you've got the name, you've got the dates, and it's sending shivers up the back of my spine just talking about it, because that is as close as you will ever get to travelling through time handling these things.
And the other bits of the story is more in the First World War, but it happens elsewhere. You have a soldier who was killed in action. You've got a group of medals there, 3, and sometimes there's a whole family where 3 or 4 brothers were all killed. And that's a huge sad occasion, and it sort of brings that very close to you to think about what that meant to people at the time.
Well, it obviously means a great deal to you.
It can do.
And it's been a great delight meeting you.
Okay, pleasure.